Perfect.
What's the best way
Okay.
for me to be helpful?
Well, I guess I will tell you a little bit about myself. I know we have 15 minutes, so I'll try not to be long-winded. I have done a little bit of research on you, and man, your resume is just so impressive to me. I collect books, so as soon as I see you are an author, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is like exciting. So thank you so much for just taking the time, first and foremost. Um, I am originally from Cleveland, Ohio. I moved to New York in 2021 of November. So this month, actually tomorrow would make 3 years for me officially here. Um, I was selling cars in Cleveland. I did that and I was selling electric vehicles, but it wasn't for my current company. And I did that for 4 years. I was just passionate about EVs, and I'm like, how can I get me one of these? And so I got a job, figured it out, got the car. Okay. I always knew I wanted to live in New York City, Seth. I actually would tell my parents this all the time. And this is without having visited, but I was so like in tune with music and the music industry, to be specific, hip hop and R&B. And
Hmm.
at the time growing up, it was like New York City is where you needed to be. So as a kid, I always thought like I need to make my way to New York. So when I could afford it, I made the move, thankfully through my job.
Yay.
Yes. So I got that opportunity. Several opportunities later in New York, I landed another job. Now, this whole process of transitioning when I was in Cleveland, Ohio, I did some college. I graduated from the Ohio Media School. I started my own live talk
I'm sold
show.
on this. Let's jump ahead because I want to make sure we have enough time to get into the current.
Yes, awesome. So, just to speed it up, I've done several things, that has to do with media. I've interviewed artists. I have mentors in the industry, these type of different things. I've always been trying to figure out how to get my foot into the door of the music business.
Yeah.
So 3 years later, this is where I am. I'm still striving. I feel even more ambitious than I was, before when I moved here.
You're a rock star.
Thank you. I'm for sure trying to be.
All
So
right, let's just jump into the music industry is over. There's still music, more music than
yes.
ever before. But if it was 20 years ago, what did a record label need to do to be good at being a record label? What were the hard parts 20 years ago?
Okay, 20 years ago. Oh my goodness. Okay. I mean, I have the book, All You Need to Know About the Music Business.
So
Uh,
you know, right?
okay, right.
You need to get good artists.
100%.
You need to have money to spend on recording studios and
Yes.
cocaine and all that stuff.
All of that stuff, right?
You got to have people who can get your stuff played on the radio,
Yes.
and you got to get people who can get your stuff placed in the music stores, record stores,
100%.
right?
Right.
Which of those things matter now? There are no record stores left.
No, it's obsolete.
There is no radio left,
100%.
and we don't need a recording studio anymore.
True. Everyone can do it from their cell phone.
Right.
You can record a
So
record. Yeah.
all the things that everyone's teaching you need to do don't matter anymore.
Right.
So what matters?
Okay, great music still matters, regardless
Correct.
of what people think. But now the people are actually choosing who is going to be our next star. It's
Uh-huh.
now it's about the people. So it's direct to consumer now. Um, Now what matters is like building like a true authentic fan base. People actually have to like you, the personality of you
Well,
now.
who's you? Is you the artist?
Yes, they
Well,
have
then
to
what
like.
do they need Bree for?
Mm, okay. You know what? Regardless, artists still need help. Artists are still going to need people.
They do. They need management, coaches, uh, people who can do things for them, but they're not going to pay you record label money to do those things for them.
True.
How are you going to end up with a record label with 30 great acts on it if it's the artist who has to bring the fans?
Okay. There's still a such thing as an agent. Think about companies like CAA and UTA. You
So
still are going.
well, I didn't know you wanted to be an agent.
And I don't know if what I want to be is exactly called an agent, to be honest with you. I don't know if
Okay.
it is. I
So
want to be a
here's what I
business.
got for you. Here's what I got
Okay.
for you. You almost figured it out. You're really close.
Hmm.
Usually it takes people an hour to get this far. You did it in
Okay.
3 minutes. What happens when there are 100,000 people who, when Bree says, "This is my new act," go and listen to it?
I mean, it's influence. I'm
You're changing the game for these artists because these artists who are busy playing at clubs or whatever it is, they don't have 100,000 fans.
right,
They have 100 fans, 1,000 fans,
right,
right? So
right.
now you're the tastemaker and you have the thing they want more than anything,
I have the eyes of the people.
and the
I
ears.
have the attention.
So what that means is when you pick a group, they're going to hit chart on Spotify,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And once they chart on Spotify, now it's up to the music for it to keep going. But your job is to give them a spark.
right.
So you go to them and you say, "Hey, I'm Bree. Damn it. Do you want
Hmm.
me to break you to 100,000 people or not?
Right.
If you do, I need you to clean up this part of your act. I need you to find this collection of songs, and I need you to sign on the dotted line because I'm going to get paid when you get paid."
100%.
And now you're the boss because you have the one thing they want the most, which is the list.
The
The
list.
list is everything.
Hmm. I
So,
have the network.
right. So the question is, how do you build that? That is the work because you don't
Right.
start with 100,000. So, do you know my friend Bob Lefsitz? Everyone in music knows Bob Lefsitz, right?
No, I do not.
All right, well, go read his newsletter.
Okay.
He's pretty aggressive sometimes, but the Lefsitz letter he's been writing for 20 years. He's
Okay. I'm
now
writing this down. I'm taking notes.
right, Lefsetz. He's the single most influential person in the whole industry.
Okay.
Everybody who matters reads his newsletter. So, like Taylor Swift got mad at him and wrote a song about him. That's how important he is. So,
Wow.
uh, go read a bunch of his old newsletters. I'm on his podcast in a week or two. But Lefsitz has opinions, but when he started, he only had 10 people reading the newsletter. Now everyone
Wow.
reads the newsletter, right? So you got to figure out where are you going to get the first 100 people
Okay.
who follow you, who listen to your taste, who whatever. And then why should they tell their friends? Why should they tell the other people? Does that make
Right.
sense?
That does
So
make sense.
you don't want to be like a standard Instagram influencer. You
A
want
hundred
people,
percent. I don't. No, this is longevity I'm looking
right?
for.
But you have to have a point of view. You need to say, when I bring an act to you, there's a reason, right? So
Right.
like I don't understand hip hop. That's because I'm old, but I do understand jazz. And Cyrilla May is a brilliant jazz musician. How did I discover Cyrilla May? This guy uh, went to a restaurant in Westchester County, New Rochelle or Larchmont, that wasn't full on Tuesday nights. And he said, "If I fill this restaurant on Tuesday nights, can I have some of the money?" And they're like, "Sure." So
Right.
he started bringing jazz musicians in on Tuesdays and then building an email newsletter to announce which jazz group was coming next Tuesday.
Wow.
And so I was on this newsletter. I took his word for it because he wasn't wrong in the past. And he said, found this new person, Cyrilla May. She's playing on Tuesday. So I went. There were 40 people there. She blew me away. I've bought every record she's ever made since then. I'm friends with her. I'm a fan because
Wow.
he had the list. And once you
Understood.
have the list, you get right. And then there's another place right down the street from where you did the thing in Irvington called
Yes.
Jazz Forum Arts.
Okay.
Jazz Forum Arts is a pretty dumpy jazz club in a, not New York City, but he's
Okay.
got the list. So he can
Yeah.
bring in one big act after another, like famous jazz musicians, um, because he can sell the place out because he can just
Got it.
whisper to the list. So the good news is you don't have to quit your job to do this. You don't need
Right.
any money to do this. And you don't have
Yes.
to sign the first 10 groups. You can just find groups that you want to brag about, even though they don't even know who you are.
Right.
And then once you can demonstrate that when Bree picks something, people click,
Yes.
now you have a record label.
Got it. That's my stage. I have got it. Oh man. Wow. You made that so easy.
Well, it's my life's work to think about this one problem. So
Yes.
the record label I started, we did 3 records.
Okay.
It was an experiment. I gave all the money to the artists. I just wanted to see how it would work. And there was a format for records that was better than CDs called SACD
Okay.
that sounded 4 times better. It's really terrific. Sony made the format, and uh, the player used to cost $3,000. Now it costs $100, but it used to be really expensive because it was new.
Got
But
it.
they forgot to make the recording device. So the only thing you could buy were old records that had been transferred over by Sony so that you can get all the Rolling Stones, all the Bob Dylan. And I got one of these recorders that someone else made so I could make these new records. And
Got it.
I ran an ad in the fancy stereo magazine called Stereophile, which only has 100,000 subscribers. And I said, here's the deal. I'm going to make 5 of these records a year. And they usually cost $40 each. That's what SACDs cost. But for $80, you subscribe and I'll send you all 5. But
Wow.
you shouldn't trust me. Send me $5 for postage and handling. I'll send you the first one for free.
Hmm.
And 3,000 people signed up. And that was enough. That's enough to have a
Ah,
record label. 3,000 people who give you money and say, I'll be back, I'll be back, I'll be back.
yes.
So that's the work. That's the only work. You already have good taste. You're already credible. What you don't have is a list.
Got it. So now I just need to run after it. I need to just apply it at this point. It's just running. Just what would you say, Seth? How long do you feel like it should take someone like me to actually like execute this to get a list of obviously your 3,000 people are different from me. You are Seth, right? So
No,
it's
they didn't know who I was when they signed up.
ah
My list right now is 1 million people.
wow.
And when I started, it was 10. But I started a very long time ago. This was my blog. So my blog, every single day, a few hundred people joined in, right? And
Yes.
so I got to show up and show up and show up. So you can have a list that's a blog, a list that's an email list, a list that's people who are following you on TikTok, whatever where you're going to build the list.
Right.
And it depends on which platform you pick to decide how long it's going to take to build.
Okay.
Because the easier it is to build, the less it's worth. So if
Okay.
someone gets 2 million views on a TikTok and they show up tomorrow, they might get 100 people. They don't have a list. They just showed up briefly.
Right.
If you show up on YouTube, that's a little bit better because you have
Okay.
subscribers. But most people on YouTube don't subscribe, they just look at it.
True.
Whereas email, even though it's old fashioned, that's a list because once you have their email address, you have their email address.
Right. No one can take that away from me. YouTube owns YouTube. If YouTube is done today, I don't have that list is gone.
Exactly.
Okay,
That's
I'm following you.
exactly it. So
Okay.
you got to pick which place you want to build this thing
Yes.
and patiently build it and then find partners you can double date with. So you go to someone who also has a list.
Yes.
You show up on theirs, they show up on yours, and both of your lists grow.
Gotcha. That makes so much sense.
So one thing, if I was starting today,
Yes.
I might think, why don't I start by finding 20 people I respect and building a union of all of us where we all link to each other, we all support each other, we all share stuff, because then all the lists will grow.
Okay.
And you have a personality and credibility that could pull something like that off because these influencers are lonely. And when someone shows up and says, I know Bob, I know Mary, I know Tracy, do you want to join us? They feel good about that. They
Right.
don't. So no money's changing hands. What's changing hands is trust and attention.
Which is more important than money.
Exactly. All right. So
Wow.
here's the deal, Bree. I gotta
Yes,
go. You
I
need,
understand.
if you email me your mailing address, I'll send you some books because I would be thrilled to do that.
Oh my
And
goodness.
you should think about this, play with this for 4, 6, 8 weeks, and then come back to me and tell me how I can help.
Absolutely, I will do that. Seth, may I ask your permission of this video? May I have this video? May I put it on my YouTube? Because when I follow up with you in 8 weeks, I would love to show a track record.
I'll say yes. Let's do it.
I
I'll
appreciate
send you the
you.
recording.
Thank you for your time today.
Keep making this ruckus. We need you,
Oh,
Bree.
I will. We need you too. Thank you for your time.
Okay. Bye bye.
Take care.